Hi, I'm Alpina Singh, and welcome to Check Please. This is the show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how the show works. Every week we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go to check them out to see what they think. This week, science teacher Michael Brish says that if you want flavors that truly explode in your mouth, follow him to the wonders of Chinatown for some of the most amazing Asian food in town. But jewelry designer Don Stresbeck says he's found a memorable hidden gem in Lincoln Square. He says for a spot that sparkles with fresh ingredients and sizzling service, you got to join him at his favorite spot. But up first, executive assistant Rebecca Flores says that if you're looking to schedule a unique, beautiful dining experience with creative flavors and a delightful decor, head on over to Lakeview and let Chef Debbie Gold be your guide at Tide House.
The room gets a great energy, so you feel relaxed, and I think you just enjoy yourself. The feel and the look of the room and the food work really well together, and honestly, I think the room almost in a sense dictated where I went with the menu. And I would also say it's the same with the cocktails and the wines that we do. Simplicity on the plate is really important to me. Textures are really important to me. I always kind of say that I just try to take ordinary ingredients and I want to, make those ordinary ingredients extraordinary. I'm a mom, I always feed people, and so when they come and they enjoy and they have a good time, it's a really rewarding, good feeling.
So Rebecca, you tell us that Tide House is top-notch. Tell us why you chose it.
I think it really fills a void in the Lakeview area just because there aren't a lot of places like it. They define themselves as elevated dining, which I think is pretty accurate because it's not quite fine dining, but it's definitely not a lot like the casual bars and restaurants that you see in the area. One of my favorite things on the menu is if you do the bread and the spreads, their chicken liver mousse is so rich and really decadent. It's really good. I've had the chicken liver mousse multiple times, as well as the creme fraiche honeycomb, but the new one we tried the last time I was there was the bone marrow butter, and that was pretty good too.
I had the bread with the tomato marmalade. Oh my God, it was so good.
Oh, I'll have to try that next time.
Absolutely delicious.
So their traditional bread service is restaurants, a lot of restaurants, they charge for bread now.
Yeah.
But here they give you an option to add the spread as well.
It's worth charging for.
Yeah, I think so, because
really
you get the
is.
house rolls.
Some people don't like to pay for bread.
Some people don't. I also knew that going in, though, that was like part of their.
Give them crackers.
So Mike, you checked out Tide House for brunch with friends. How was your experience?
Yeah, so we went for brunch. We really liked it. I had this pork sandwich, which everyone wanted to eat it. Like, it came out and it was like food jealousy from everyone at the table. My girlfriend had a dish that was kind of plain. It was lox and bagel, so sort of would expect that that's a little plain.
Well, we started with the fava bean pasta as an appetizer. And it splits really well as an appetizer. Very, very tasty.
I got the fava bean pasta as well, which I loved. I've never had pistachios in a pasta dish before, but it gave it a nice texture. That with the shaved ham and the cheese, it was just perfect.
And then we had the monkfish and the roasted duck with the wild cherry sauce. Oh, it's so good. It was art on a plate. Yet it was edible art.
Yes.
Because sometimes you get art on a plate and it's art on a plate. That's where it should stay.
Although, Mike, you didn't have that with your lox and bagel.
No, but it was kind of the outlier. The other dishes were very well presented.
What were the other dishes?
We had ramen. It comes in a bowl. It's soup, but that was really good.
One of the easy standouts for our group was the short rib with the black garlic sauce.
Yeah, that was maybe the most artful dish that we had there.
Not only was it gorgeous, it was such a good cut of meat. It was tender. It was perfectly well seasoned. That was the one where people kept trying to take bites of it for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody try any desserts?
I had the strawberry rhubarb custard and the deconstructed wedding cake. They were lumps of love. They were just so wonderful.
It is wedding cake.
Yeah.
But the standout for us was the chocolate mousse. It has a different texture than most mousses because they incorporate a browned butter spread, and it comes with milk pearls on the side. It was really decadent and really good.
So let's talk about Chef Debbie Gold, local to Chicago, but she had moved to Kansas City to open a couple of amazing restaurants, the American and her own restaurant, 40 Sardines. She won a James Beard Award. She's been on Top Chef
She's a big deal,
Masters.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a big deal that she's came back to Chicago and has opened this restaurant. And do you think that that's what it adds to the excitement of Tight House?
Absolutely, and I think that they do have the fact that they have such a seasonal menu as well as their cocktail menu. They're trying new things, they're always adding things. It makes it a place that you want to go to and see what they're up to next. And the bartenders really know what they're doing, because that's the first time I went there, I sat at the bar, so they were able to recommend what cocktails to try, all that good kind of stuff.
The drinks were real good that we had.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
I
they
had
were.
a gin drink with lemon. Oh my
And the
gosh.
new fennel drink, yeah?
No, it was so delicious.
Tight House is a newer restaurant, but there's a lot of history attached to the general space itself. It's part of Shuba's.
Yeah.
But Tight House looks nothing like Shuba's.
No.
Definitely taken a much different expression from what Shuba's was typically known for, as being a former Schlitz brewery in a sense.
Yeah. On that corner of Southport, I feel like it immediately grabs your eye. It has this clean, modern look. When you walk in, you walk down this long hallway, and then when you finally are brought into the restaurant bar area, the design is really cool. There is turquoise and the copper. The bar is really well designed. Yeah, did any of you guys sit at the bar when you went?
Yeah, when we got
How'd you
there,
like it?
I loved it. It was great. It is very nicely done. I think that's the best thing about it, is that if you are going to a show at Shuba's, you can go have a nice meal beforehand and then walk
You're
right
right
over.
there.
You're right there, and you walk right over, and
No
you know,
valeting the car.
Nothing,
No
yeah.
dealing with another Uber to get you to the second location.
Right. Well, Rebecca, you picked Tight House. Sum it up for us.
If you're looking for a unique dining experience, Tight House is the total package when it comes to atmosphere, great service, and really unique food and cocktails.
All right, Michael?
I would say it's a great place to go with your date, and it's a great pre-Shuba's night out. You can make, you don't have to ever leave. It's all in one place.
All right, and Don?
A culinary delight in the Southport corridor. Don't miss it. It's worth going to.
Well, you can try the bread service and much more at Tight House, 3157 North Southport Avenue, 773-697-4632. They're open for dinner every day and brunch on the weekends. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $45. According to Michael Brish, it's not about the vibe and decor at his favorite spot. The simple name says it all. Well, if you're looking for mouth-watering delicacies at an affordable price, he says join him in Chinatown at Go For Food.
When people come here, we expect them to have a great food experience. We want, first and foremost, really different flavors that they would have not experienced. We want them to hopefully experience something that is authentically us. We do specialize in doing things non-traditionally, so it would be like our French beef tenderloin or something like our chili fusion crab or lobster, and they enjoy that sort of different styles of Chinese food. Sometimes it can be really messy, especially with the seafood. You have to use your hands a lot sometimes, and of course the sauces get all over your hands. But it's really, really great when you see like Chinese and non-Chinese alike just kind of like stuffing their faces. They don't really care that they're getting a little bit dirty. They're just enjoying themselves. It's amazing.
So Michael, you say that this is one of your favorite periodic tables. Tell us why you chose it.
Well, I stumbled into this restaurant the first time I went there, and I keep going back after that first visit. I think they do food really well. Like, that's what they do. You don't go there to be wowed by their fancy anything, really, their fancy anything. You just go for the food, and it's as bad as the name is for a restaurant, and it's not great. It kind of describes what it's all about. I hope you all had the French-style beef tenderloin, because that's something special. We also, they do all of their seafood really well. Their hot and sour soup is phenomenal. I hope someone recommended that to you. And also, we had soft-shelled crab while we were there, and we reordered it. That's how much we loved it. So anything seafood, and definitely.
They have a tank.
They have the tank, yes.
Right.
They have the tank of sea creatures that you can order fresh out.
I had the beef tenderloin.
Yeah.
Same.
And it was delicious.
It's really good.
I mean, it had the seasoning, the crunch was there.
We also got the French style beef tenderloin, which is outstanding, and if you go, you should definitely check it out. We did a round of appetizers. We did the taco bows, which were really good. The bows were so good. The texture was perfect. We wish we got a couple more bows though, because the filling they give you, you can eat it on its own and it's great, but we wish there was so much filling in comparison.
Make your own bows, so you just kind of make your own.
We also got the egg drop soup, and we ordered the small, and the small.
It's huge.
We all had seconds. There is no reason to get as
Seems
large.
to me that portions are not an issue at this place.
No.
You will leave with leftovers, no question.
Yeah, it's a great place to go with a group of people, like if you're intent on sharing and trying a lot of different things.
We ordered the seafood stir-fried rice as well with pineapple, which was delicious, but I had to search for the shrimp. It was like cut up 18 times. It was so tiny, and I'm used to whole shrimps in my shrimp fried rice. The food was good.
Yeah.
The restaurant itself has some issues. The tables were sticky.
Yeah, it's
The
divey.
The tables
Yeah, it's a
were
little
sticky.
hole in the wall kind of
Absolutely.
place.
And we had to put our napkins on the table. That's how sticky they were.
I think what Don's saying is he likes his rice sticky, not
But
his table.
not his table. Yeah, fair.
Exactly.
So,
I mean,
okay, I
that's
just want to get this clear. You are sitting there with paper napkins.
on
You
the
created
table.
your own tablecloth.
Yeah.
Did they say anything?
No, they didn't say a thing.
We just
You
thought you
know.
were very particular. So, Michael, you're not disagreeing with any
No,
of this.
no.
Yeah.
Aesthetically,
Yeah, on
I
the
have
walls.
never, ever been there where I'm like, man, I'm going there to feel pampered. I just think their food is really, really simple and really tasty.
To me, going out for a culinary experience, even if it is a dive, there
Okay.
should be a certain level.
I agree with what both Michael and Don have said so far. I thought the food was good. The decor was a little lacking, but once you walk in, you kind of know it's a little more divey, it's a little more hole in the wall. But like my dad has always said, some of those hole in the wall places have the best food. So once I kind of just immediately was like, all right, this is just the atmosphere you get.
But the dessert was very interesting.
Yeah.
I had they called it like a mango soup.
Yeah.
And so refreshing. And you could tell it was made with fresh mangoes.
It's so
You know,
interesting.
it's-
It's we had to go take a walk around Chinatown before we could think about dessert.
Such a cultural
Yeah.
experience. I always say that going to Chinatown should involve walking around and taking the staycation feel.
We totally walked around, and there was you know, vendors. We checked out some of the shops. There were lots of live performances,
That's
live
really
music.
cool.
Oh, it was so much fun. And I rarely make it down to Chinatown, so it was
Right.
perfect timing that day for us. It was really good.
It's a wonderful thing about Chicago. We have these fabulous neighborhoods for us to enjoy.
Absolutely.
Well, Michael, you chose Go For Food. Sum it up for us.
I think it's just really good, tasty Asian food, Chinese food specifically, that it doesn't taste like any other Chinese food I've had in the city, and that's what I love about it.
All right, Don.
Nice place. The food was delicious, and I'd be willing to give them a second chance. But those tables.
All right, Rebecca.
If you're looking for no-frills, authentic Chinese cuisine, definitely give Go For Food a look. And I hope you like your entree because you'll definitely be leaving with leftovers.
All right, well, you can taste the beef tenderloin and more at Go For Food, 212 West 23rd Street, 312-842-8688. They're open for lunch and dinner. They're closed on Tuesdays. Reservations are accepted. Alcohol is BYOB, and the average tab per person is $15. Don Strepek knows there's a myriad of Mexican spots throughout the Chicago area, but he says if you want to find a diamond in the rough, follow him to Lincoln Square and stop in at Dos Ricos.
I have a very intense passion for what I do. And starting with fresh ingredients, you know, I think it's a key of what makes a restaurant unique and different.
All you want.
It stands out for two types of cuisine, the Mexican side and the fusion side. Korean barbecue steak made into tacos. Again, you know, there's the Asian flair side in a Mexican dish. I believe in evolution, and I want to keep people interested in coming back by trying my new item, my new menu, or why not? So it's a good feeling when you actually see all types of people coming into your establishment and embracing your cooking and the passion for what you do.
So Don, you give Dos Ricos 2 thumbs up. Tell us why you chose it.
The reason I chose Dos Ricos is because the chef and owner, Ricardo Meza, he's a young man who is talented, and the menu is constantly changing. It's never the same, and there's always a twist. He's taking Mexican food, traditional Mexican food, and he's adding Asian spices.
What are some of your outstanding dishes that, you know, he can't change?
Pozole in the wintertime. You can't change that at all. If that's not there in the winter, I'm not going. This past visit, I had the tuna, and my friend from the Navy, he actually had megos.
What is that dish?
It's sort of what they call like a Mexican leftover dish. You mix eggs with the chips and the meat and everything together. It's sort of like a hash. But Ricardo does it deconstructed. One had the enchiladas with the mole sauce.
That's what I ordered. It was so good.
Right?
Yeah.
'Cause
And
that-
normally I'm not a big enchilada person, but that mole rojo sauce is top notch. Their taco offerings are awesome over there. I
Korean
will say
barbecue
that.
taco, which is to die for.
My
with the
mom got the
cabbage.
seared tuna taco. It was so good.
Yeah.
But they also had things like eggplant tacos. One of our party members got the Korean BBQ taco, and you can't just find those anywhere, so I would totally recommend people to check it out just for the taco offerings they have.
The tacos were kind of a miss for us. Several things happened. They served the wrong tacos.
Is there such a thing as a wrong taco?
Well, that's a good question. We had the Korean barbecue taco too, and it tasted like sloppy joes. That's like what, to us, I thought the
Like
Korean.
in a good way or bad way?
It's like when you're expecting one thing and you get something else, and then you're kind of like, oh, that's not what I thought this was going to be. So we didn't love it, but I thought the simplest dishes that they did were also their best ones.
So which ones were those?
So they did a tuna dish that was kind of a play on sushi. It was Mexican style. It was seared ahi tuna, and it was
Over a bed of rice.
yes,
with
it was
the-
super clean.
With the Mexican.
Yeah, you're like, is this sushi? But it's a it's like, it was real good. Our server recommended shrimp fajitas. You look at it and you're like, this is it? And then you eat it, and it was delightful. I mean, it was really, really good.
Did you try the salsa?
We tried it a lot. We kept ordering chips again, and yeah, with the hot salsa.
It's not hot, spicy.
No.
It's warm.
Yeah, when it first came out
yes.
and we saw the steam, none of us had ever had like temperature hot salsa before, but it was really tasty. That with the combination of the homemade tortilla chips, where they're heartier, they can handle more like, you know, of the ceviche or the guacamole on it. Those were, we all left talking about the chips. They're really good. I like the guacamole because it was kind of chunkier. They were like hunks of avocado. And me and my mom and my dad, we really liked the ceviche. We went on a Sunday afternoon for lunch. It's very casual, it felt very friendly. Our service that day, we did have some issues with the service, and there was only one waitress for the whole restaurant, but the waitress was also helping prepare the food. But all the food was really good.
Dos Ricos does a very brisk takeout business as well, delivery. So if you look behind the register, they have like 3 or 4 delivery terminals. And that's actually become more of a modern presence with restaurants. So not only are you working with the other customers in the restaurant, but then you have all these orders coming in. So maybe the restaurant doesn't seem as busy, but we're also not aware of how many orders they're getting.
Exactly.
You know.
We were the only people at the restaurant for the first 90 minutes we were there.
When'd you go?
We went on a Thursday night at 7 o'clock, but they were, like you said, doing takeout. I mean, we did see several orders going out the door. Now,
What kind of dessert did you have?
we tried 2 out of the 3. We tried the churros, which were great. Like, I mean, again, is there a bad churro? I don't know. And then we had, our waitress said that it was a banana egg roll, but there are plantains in there, not bananas.
Right,
So when you
plantains.
think you're getting bananas, but then you get
get
plantains,
plantains.
you're like, those are not the same thing.
So Don, tell us about the ambiance and sort of the decor of the restaurant.
It's an open space. The artwork that's on the one wall is his. He also paints.
Next time you go, if you're looking for a bottle of wine, I love Albarino with Mexican food. There's just something about the bright. It's like lime juice that sort of, perfectly matches with the dish. It's actually from Spain, but if you need a good bottle, bring a bottle of Albarino. All right, Don, you recommended Dos Ricos. Sum it up for us.
He's a local guy, creative. Everything's made fresh on the spot. Go.
All right, Rebecca.
Casual spot, real neighborhood staple, nice homemade touches. Definitely don't forget the BYOB and try some of those unique tacos.
All right, and Michael.
Good blend of flavors, real comfortable atmosphere, easy to go with a group of friends and have a real good time.
All right, well, you can try the hot salsa for yourself at Dos Ricos, 46 North Lincoln Avenue, 872-206-5789. They're open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are accepted. Alcohol is BYOB, and the average tab per person is $18. So in this week's show, we featured Tide House on Southport, Go For Food on 23rd Street, and Dos Ricos on Lincoln Avenue. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we sailed over to Southport Avenue and sat down at Tide House. Rebecca recommends it for the elevated dining experience and inventive cuisine. Don loved the artistic food and enjoyed the creative cocktails. Michael liked the brunch and appreciated the convenient location. Next, we walked to 23rd Street and visited Go For Food. Michael recommends it for the best beef tenderloin and succulent seafood selections. Don enjoyed the food but thought the atmosphere had some issues. Rebecca said it was a bang for her buck and was pleased with the food. Lastly, we headed to Lincoln Avenue and dined at Dos Ricos. Don recommends it for their fun Mexican fusion and ever-changing menu. Rebecca appreciated the unique tacos and the homey feel. Michael didn't get what he expected, but thought the simple dishes were their best. Well, we've had just a wonderful time this week, and I'd like to thank my guests, Rebecca Flores, Don Strepek, and Michael Brish. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Alpana Singh, and I'll see you then. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.